This is the voice of Eldon Marks presenting to you Drupal and IT Entrepreneurship. In this talk, I'll first explain the meaning of entrepreneurship, then we'll move on to IT entrepreneurship, then on to IT entrepreneurship with Drupal, some final words, and some resources to get you started in Drupal. Entrepreneurship is essentially a fancy French-related word meaning launching a business strategy to sell innovations and make money so that you can buy cool stuff, be your own boss, and retire early. Ism. So what are the key incentives of entrepreneurship? Why become an entrepreneur? Well, isn't it obvious? You can be your own boss and make money to buy cool stuff. Smiley face. Now the question that may be burning in your minds right now is, how do you become an entrepreneur? What do you need to become an entrepreneur? Basically, what are the key ingredients of entrepreneurship? Firstly, you'll need something to sell. You'll need an idea or an innovation. And you'll need startup funding. Sad face. But alas, thanks to FOSS products, free and open source software, an IT entrepreneur faces reduced startup costs, if any at all. As an example, just consider starting up an IT business. Within the realm of IT, you have the option of putting together a virtual company with virtual offices. No physical buildings required, and this can tremendously cut back on any required costs. But the possibilities don't stop there. Apart from lowering to eliminating startup costs, IT has quite literally accelerated innovation. And these days we see countless innovations, from the iPhone app that predicts menstrual cycles to headgear that allows you to control software just by thinking about it. The bottom line is this. With the relatively boundless realm of software, the realization of your innovation is only restricted by imagination and maybe copyright laws, but it's still a good thing. So here are some popular IT entrepreneurs. The first two are the co-founders of Google, worth $14 billion each. The second is the creator of Facebook, worth $10 billion. The third, they are the creators of Twitter. And this guy, well, he is waiting for his big break someday. So the question is, what was the most prominent element required for the success of their innovations? And if you know anything about Facebook, Twitter, or Google, the answer is the World Wide Web. So it's established. The World Wide Web is this wonderful place in which IT entrepreneurs can make it big. It works so well because the World Wide Web fosters globalization. It basically brings the world to whatever you put out there. And naturally, the more persons you have to sell your innovation to, the more money you can make. So this brings us to Drupal, a web technology that can help you along in your quest to become an IT entrepreneur. The beauty about Drupal is that an IT entrepreneur on Drupal can develop or configure web services or sites with little or no overhead. A lot of the details and the complexities are just abstracted from you. An IT entrepreneur on Drupal can produce more complex web services or websites in less time and on a solid foundation, because most, or at least the foundation itself, most of the basic things are already prepared, developed, and tested for you to build upon. And an IT entrepreneur in Drupal can essentially be anyone who knows what email is. So here is a little bit about Drupal. It's an open source content management framework developed by Dries Battard, a Belgian grad student. It's PHP driven with an option to use a variety of backend databases. It comes with basic core functionality. It's highly customizable. You can basically log into Drupal and customize a variety of things, including the look and feel of the site itself, among other things under the hood. It's highly modular. It has a modular framework, and this allows for it to be extensible. Basically, you can either download additional functional modules to extend its functionality or develop your own. And there are tons of free and useful contributed modules available online. Um, Drupal has a large developer community, and it has a dedicated security team that makes sure that the foundations of Drupal are as hack-proof as possible, and um, it can be used to build just about any type of website or web service. I've seen Drupal versions of Twitter and Facebook, for instance. You can use it to build e-commerce websites. You can use it to host a variety of web services and so forth. So basically, Drupal is this Swiss Army knife of web applications. So here are some examples of Drupal-powered websites. We have the U.S. White House website. They have adopted Drupal. Ubuntu, uh, AOL, Sun Microsystems, Adobe, CARICOM, UG, and the United Nations. Now keep in mind that Drupal is not the only technology of its kind. There are many other content management frameworks or content management systems available. So here are some reasons why Drupal is chosen. Firstly, it has good user management services, complete with session management, configurable user roles, privileges, and profiles. It shines when it comes to providing a facility to create virtually any content type made up of any fields you choose, from simple pages to annotated image galleries. And once your content is posted, you can create configurable content views that list and filter content types. It has a built-in taxonomy for labeling, cross-referencing, categorizing, and ultimately organizing site content. Drupal allows the customization of page titles and the insertion of meta tags to help search engines index your pages better. Plus, theming is relatively simple, considering Drupal's adoption of a variety of standard templating engines, such as PHP template. It provides flexible URL control, excellent documentation and support. It's more search engine friendly than Joomla, it's more compatible than Plone, and it's more powerful and extensible than WordPress. With that said, I present to you 5 simple steps in becoming a Drupal-powered entrepreneur. Step 1. Develop an interest in making money. Step 2. Download and learn Drupal and become a Drupal ninja. Step 3. Build and deploy your own company website, with Drupal of course. Step 4. Find that signature web project. It could be your own website or someone else's website or someone else's project. But the important thing, as highlighted by step 5, is unleash your Drupal Kung Fu, because this basically will be your signature work, and from that you can perpetuate future works in the area. Here's some added information regarding your rights as a Drupal-powered developer. Firstly, you have the right to ignore your developer ego and silly developer friends who tell you that software reuse is for wimps. Essentially, Drupal is more or less so complete at the core that you rarely have to do much in terms of development. And this might seem a bit cheap if you consider developing things from scratch as opposed to just reusing and configuring existing software. Secondly, Drupal is under the GNU public license, which is based on software freedom. So therefore you have the right to charge for your Drupal-powered work, even if it's the equivalent of just a few mouse clicks, and it often is. So in closing, I'll leave you with 3 pieces of advice. Innovate, Drupalate, and perpetuate. Thank you. Listed here are some Drupal-related resources. Copy them down, look them up.